Alright. It says the broadcast is on. I don't know if audio is working. I'm gonna hope that it's working right now. Because this is gonna be the official Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, it's working. Alright, sweet. Alright. Now, I did not think I was gonna be talking about this, actually. Truth be told, I did not think I was whatsoever. This was a game that I was, like, decently excited for. You know, because the last game, Legend of Zelda, you know, the Breath of the Wild, which I call Batwa, right? So I'm gonna call that one Batwa, and I call this one Tears of the Kingdom. I call that Tatka, all right? Because it's their acronyms pronounced literally, all right? So, like I said, I didn't really think I'd be making a video on this at all. I thought, you know, it was probably gonna be a, you know, fine and dandy game and all that, you know. I was not expecting it to blow my fucking mind to the magnitude that it did. At all. See, back in 2019, I went and bought my first Switch, alright? And I bought that, I think maybe over the summer or something. And I went and bought that with Super Smash Bros. And then months later, I got Batwa because everybody was telling me I need to play it. Now, I didn't quite understand or appreciate Batwa for what it was until much later down the line, until at least like a year or two later. But once I gained the appreciation for the game like Batwa, I ended up actually selling my Switch. Now the reason why I didn't appreciate it that much is I didn't actually quite understand. I was not a very open world gamer type of guy. I think, matter of fact, the most open world experience I had was like Minecraft, Skyrim. That might be about it before I played Batwa. I just was not that kind of fucking guy. You know, very big shooter fellow. I love Doom. Doom, my favorite franchise. I also liked Metal Gear, you know. A lot more linear shit. Never really decided to pick up Batwa, you know, until months later. Everyone was telling me to get it, so I got it. Now, like I said, I gained an appreciation for it, but it's still not nearly to the magnitude that a lot of people had an appreciation for it. You know, everybody was praising the shit out of Batwa, like crazy. Like 10 out of 10s was being handed out all over the place. See, me, to this day, I still don't really agree with it. I think it's an amazing game. I love the art direction of Zelda. I like how it was pretty close to Wind Waker. That's my favorite Zelda game. Or at least was, because I'm going to start talking about Tatka in a minute. I don't know, it might be challenged. I don't know, maybe just off of nostalgia, but hey, well, I'll get into that. Look, the thing was, like, still to this day, my main thing about Batwa is that I didn't like the combat for it at all. I didn't like that exploration was pretty much a really big fucking lie. Like, everybody was like, oh, you see something cool, go explore it, go to it. Well, okay, 9 out of 10 times, and as a matter of fact, 99.99% of the time you see something cool to go explore it, it's a shrine quest, or a Korok. You know, I remember I started the game, and I didn't really, I didn't actually quite understand, like, the goals of the game whatsoever. I actually went in completely blind. Matter of fact, 2 years after the game came out, I was completely blind to the game. So when I got off the Great Plateau, and it told me to go kill Ganon, I was like, oh, okay. And so I went straight for the castle. But then I realized, oh, there's other stuff for me to do around here. I actually did not look. I was quite tunnel vision. I was a little bit of a fucking idiot back in the day. But yeah, forgive me, I was pretty tunnel vision. I couldn't even get my dick into the gates of the castle. It was, I was getting absolutely stomped by like guardians standing outside. It just could not be done. So, and then that brings me to Taka, right? Because that was one of the main reasons I was a little hesitant. I was just an itty bitty bit hesitant on picking up Taka. Is because I was just like, you know, why fix something that ain't broke to like everybody, right? I didn't really like exploring in Batwa that much. I liked taking in the scenes and all that and collecting cool stuff, but my biggest issue with a game like Batwa is once I beat the game, I have no fucking desire to go do anything else. right? And that's actually essentially what sort of happened. I beat Botwell once, and like I said, for like a year or two, I didn't touch it ever again. But then I picked it back up. I was just like, okay, I must have missed something, right? So I went to go play it again. And, sorry, I got a runny nose right now, y'all. And I gained a little bit more of an appreciation for it when taking into consideration, oh shit, yeah, I really can go fucking everywhere. That is actually pretty fucking cool. And then after I beat it, I was like, oh ho, wait a minute, the desire isn't all gone. I went to Walmart and bought a gift card for the DLC. Because I had cash, I had a lot of cash on me at the time. I went and bought the gift card to go get the DLC. And I played the shit out of that. I replayed the game on Master Mode, did the whole DLC on Master Mode, did the Master Trials, Champions Ballad, had me a fucking blast. The DLC really did it for me. I love that part of the game, right? And I already appreciated the base game of it, and the DLC added something for me to appreciate. You know, I guess technically it is part of like exploring. I don't know, I did have to look up how to activate the DLC and shit. But it was cool. And it looked like Tatka was gonna be really fucking awesome. So, I didn't buy it on release day. In fact, I bought it the day after. I went to a friend's house, best friend Devin's house. I went over there and watched him play it for like 15 minutes and I was sold. I was like, holy shit, I love this. See, I loved everything in Tatka more than I loved I don't know, I guess I really fumbled that sentence. I think it's the same situation with Pro Jedi, right? Tatka did everything better than what Botwa was trying to do, in my humble opinion, right? I think exploration was so much fucking better. A big reason why exploration in the last game to find shrines kind of stank to me is because the shrines were comically easy. There was very little challenge behind any of them. It was almost insulting to my very intelligence to watch or to play. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't watch nobody play. I played that fucking game. It was very insulting to my intelligence to play through these shrines. I was like, but then again, you know, I couldn't be too mad because it was just rated E, you know, or something. I think it's rated E. I think, you know, kids are supposed to be able to pick the game up. I don't know how kids are supposed to pick up Tatka. It's a little fucking gritty in that game, you know. But it's like I said, everything is better in the game. I mean, obviously, like you know, they didn't really fix much of like heads-up display. They didn't really change much of that. They didn't change much of the graphics or the frame rate or anything. And I'm not much of a frame snob. I know a lot of people are, you know, pretty upset that, you know, you can't run it in 60 FPS. And I was just like, well, I don't know. It's stuck on the Switch, you know. If it was on a PS5 or something, you'd definitely be hitting 60 FPS. Come on, you know, you get games like Horizon hitting 60 FPS on the PS5, or how we were able to get Shadow of the Colossus remake running at 60 FPS on a PS4, base PS4 at that. So, I wasn't one of those frame snobs. I'm not really that big of a frame snob. I know like they ramped up the prices of gaming these days. And so that is really that is a big talking point, but for all intents and purposes, I don't currently feel as though that is that big of an issue. So when I say like everything has been upgraded, I mean like all the shit that I really didn't fucking like that much in Botwa. Like I said, exploring the shrines and finding a shrine in Tatka is actually really fucking cool, because they really got really creative with these puzzles, and I had a lot of fun doing these puzzles. The combat, they got rid of those stupid combat trials or whatever the fuck, where they just put a little mini or big boy guardian and throw that shit at you. That was stupid. Okay, that was I mean, it was just copy and pasted. They had like what, 20 of those? That was just stupid. I fucking hated doing all that stupid shit. But they made an upgraded version in Tatka. You know, that you're able to you get hunted. You're like they got a bunch of constructs and they're on the hunt for you, and they take away your armor. So it's like Eventide Island. But it is still it's a little copy pasted. It's still a little bit of that, but it's okay. I think it's better. And you know what the fuck ever. You know, I don't know what they decided to prioritize the most in development. And another thing that I was upset about. Well, no, sorry. What the fuck? I'm tripping on my words right now. Y'all gotta excuse me. I just woke up. Look, another thing I was worried about is that this was just gonna be like a $70 DLC, right? Thank God it wasn't. Now the reason I was worried about that is because I didn't really watch much of the trailers, I didn't watch much of the demos or anything, so that was on me for still being worried up until the release. You know, I could have easily went and watched it. It just never really crossed my mind. I just knew when it was coming out and that I was gonna get it, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I just remember them saying that it was a culmination of a bunch of DLC ideas that they had. I don't know what about any of this shit would have been DLC. You would have had to have reinvented the game from the ground up with this game. Are you shitting me? That's fucking insane. Look, first and foremost, Ganon is back. Ganondorf is back. Holy shit, I love Ganondorf so fucking much. I gotta say, one, Gerudo genetics are absolutely nuts, because like I was saying in the last game, they're all buff as shit. So I knew if Ganondorf was coming back, this dude was gonna be absolutely fucking built. And he sure as shit is. He is fucking scary strong looking. I think it's badass. He's got a fucking katana, and it can turn into other weapons and shit, like bow, a club, and a spear. All that shit. I thought it was super fucking cool. The final battle, but okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm not really holding back on spoilers. I'm not really holding back on spoilers at all. So, the final battle is actually, I don't know if I want to talk about that now. I might want to save that for last, because there was a really neat detail that I was really happy to see. I kind of want to save that talking point for last. So stick around to the end of the video. To the end of me talking about this shit, and I'm going to talk about it. I promise you. Okay. I'm going to talk about the, I guess from the very beginning. From the very beginning, when the moment I booted up the game, it was already so much fucking cooler. That's a thing that I like the most about Zelda games, is cool factor, right? It is like, does this shit sound cool? Is this shit cool? And if it's not, I mean, like, well, at the very least, it's creative. You know, I love cool factor in Zelda. Zelda needs to be cool, in my opinion, right? And it sure as shit is. The opening to this game is metal as fuck. It is, and I can't believe, like, from the very beginning of the game, I was just like, oh shit, where did Zelda go? And then what ends up happening to her is nuts. Figuring that shit out was, like, mind-blowing. I was like, I can't believe that shit just fucking happened. That was crazy to me. I remember going to piecing together and doing all the tear flashback cutscenes or whatever the fuck to witness Princess Zelda in the past. I found the map for it. I remember it's in that really super cool Forbidden Lost Temple or whatever the fuck, like behind the giant fucking statue of the goddess. There was like a map of all of them, and I was like, holy shit, that's cool. Who would have thought that was behind there the whole time? By the way, the sheer size of this game, for who would have thought, like the Sky Islands themselves are already pretty impressive. I feel as though, okay, if there was something that seemed a little bit DLC-y about the game, it might be the Sky Islands, might be, and I say that loosely, because some of the stuff that was already existing in the game became Sky Islands. Like, I thought the mazes were Sheikah, but apparently they started flying like they were Zonai. So some already existing stuff, I think just the mazes, if I'm not mistaken, started floating. Sky Islands came out of fucking nowhere. But but they are really, really fun to explore. There's a bunch of shrines up there too. Finding those shrines is a bit of a treat. Sometimes you gotta build the shrine, and then you know, once you do that, then you earn a good blessing. There's not too many blessings in this game, thank God. That was one of the biggest issues I had in the last game, is there's too many blessings. You know, not enough puzzles. Then again, I've only done like maybe 72 shrines so far. I beat the game like almost a week ago, and so I need to pick the game back up. I sure as shit do. I wanna go ahead and do a little bit more shrines. I just, like I said though, here's the same. There was one issue that I still have, is that after I beat the game, my drive to keep playing absolutely diminished. Like my high wore off from beating the game, from thinking, holy shit, this was so fucking cool, but then it was gone. It's like, and so I haven't had any desire to pick the game back up. And the reason I actually ended up beating the game, I actually found the final boss on accident. I was just exploring the depths. By the way, the depths, okay, that sure as shit wasn't no goddamn DLC. That was not no DLC. The depths are insane. Like, I am so impressed with how much there is to explore on 3 different fronts. I think it's super cool. What the depths are, it's like ancient burial grounds or some shit in some places, Yiga hideouts in some places. Hell, the fire temple in there. Oh, I gotta talk about temples too. Man, there's a lot of stuff to talk about in this game. The fire temple, I found the fire temple on accident as well, matter of fact. The fire temple, I was just exploring around. I found a hole near the Lost Forest, and I saw the fire temple off in the background, in the depths. I think it's so cool how many stuff is in the depths. But I saw that, and I was just like, I felt like it brought me back to like Dark Souls 1 with like the Tomb of the Giants, and then I saw like the Lost Izalith off in the distance, right? Except it was actually pretty fun to explore this one. You know, this wasn't as bad as Tomb of the Giants or Lost Izalith, anything like that. It was actually really, really cool to go and find that shit. But obviously, like, I didn't know how to access it. I kept burning. I didn't even have any way of dealing with the fire, so I had to come back later. You know, you have to get the fireproof equipment and all that. It's preferred that you start doing it when you're doing the fire temple quest, because then, like, you're in town, and while you're in town, you can go buy like the fire armor and all that shit. Now the temples, oh man, such an upgraded version from the Divine Beasts, because the Divine Beasts suffer the same issue as the shrines in the last game, is that they were comically easy. It was ridiculous how easy that shit was. Now, I'm not saying that the temples in this game are hard, but they are more puzzling, and they feel more like dungeons. Like real dungeons. Y'all remember Zelda dungeons, dude? Like, this shit felt more like a fucking dungeon. I thought that was super cool. I was so thrilled to have that, right? I think my favorite temple might be like the Lightning Temple. Might be. I don't know. It's pretty stiff. I think my least favorite is probably the Fire Temple. After I'd done explored it, I thought that was a little disappointing. I was just like, damn, because it looks cool. It's so cool. But like, I wasn't a big fan of like the mine carts and all that. It did make me feel dumb for a moment. Did make me feel pretty dumb. I won't deny that. But I didn't feel dumb. Like, I felt like some of the puzzles in the Lightning Temple were pretty challenging. There was one moment where it made me feel dumb. It was like I didn't actually know that there was like I was trying to get to the charge machine at the bottom, and I didn't know that you could like open the door with the rocks and all that. And I was like, oh, come on. Now, I think I was enjoying just about every moment of the game. Hell, I did even, you know, I think maybe I did end up enjoying the fire stride, but there was one part about the game I did not really like, and that was the fifth stage. I didn't like building Minoru. I didn't like going to the depths. Well, okay, going to the depths to Constructor was pretty cool. Atmospherically, it was pretty cool, but controlling her to the boss fight was such a fucking chore. I didn't have it. Like, she just wasn't doing shit for damage. Apparently, there's a way to upgrade it though. I don't really care to go do that. But if you're down for that, you know, you can go like solo Lionels with Minoru, which is nuts. You know, I wouldn't have thought that was possible. Drink your water. Anyway, controlling her was kind of ass. Her battery life is kind of ass. I didn't really upgrade my battery though, like at all. So that's on me. I didn't even know you could do that until I beat the game. So again, on me. What the fuck ever. I just didn't like it. I didn't like that shit. Her boss fight was stupid. She doesn't do shit for fucking damage. I feel like she was probably the weakest Sage. Probably because, you know, I don't really see her as a person. I just hear her up until I reconstruct a body for her and beat the boss. And then I get like all 5 rings and shit. But I think that might have been the only part of the game I disliked, was like after building Minoru and then bringing her to the Secret Stone. That might have been the only part that I actually hated. I was not enjoying myself in that part of the game at all. I knew it was going to be over. I just didn't know when it was going to be over. That was probably the worst part about it, is like the feeling of dread, right? Oh, and another thing, like, if you made it this far and you're wondering how come I'm not talking about, like, the fucking physics and all that, that shit goes without saying. That is a technological fucking marvel. Matter of fact, all the new superpowers that Link has, it blows my fucking mind. Dude, like, that is insane, all the new superpowers he has with the arm of Raru. Like, so, like, you could just pick everything up now. It doesn't have to be metal. Cool, I love that. Constructing these absolutely devious fucking devices is really cool. Auto building that shit is really cool. The ability to go through somebody's ceiling just at any fucking moment, like, alright, I'm gonna catch you later. That is so cool. I think these superpowers are a lot cooler than the ones in the last game. That I felt like that would probably make or break it for a lot of people, right? Because Link's superpowers with the Sheikah Slate in the last game were integral to the game, and I wasn't that big a fan of them. So that's also another reason I didn't really care much for it. But I thought the physics engine was insane. What you could do with that, the attention to detail, is like Kojima's attention to detail, right? If they put Kojima on Tatka, holy shit, this game would have been like insane. But I mean, whatever. Look, just Kojima. Yeah, I think that just kind of goes without saying. Like, that is actual art. The amount of time that they spent on shit like that is art to me. So many people with one beautiful vision coming together to do all that. I thought that was cool. So, yeah, brief thoughts and opinions on that. But I don't know if it's like the same as it was in the last game. They did change a couple of stuff. Like in the last game, the bullet time with the bow was constantly depleting, but this one only depletes as many arrows as you fire. I think that's pretty alright. Obviously it means that you're gonna probably be able to fire less, but it means you can also exploit the benefits of the bullet time a lot more. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. Now, I've seen a lot of exploits as far as like the game's ins and outs mechanics go. I haven't done any of them yet. I've not done any of them. I think I'm gonna start. If I pick the game back up, why the fuck not? You know, I bought the game, I beat it fair and square. Now let me exploit it, goddammit. I don't know. It looks like it's comically easy to like duplicate or something. I've heard that from like 5 different people. But yeah, combat I still don't really like that much in this game. It's okay. It's not really offensive. Like the whole flurry rush shit, I felt like was pretty inconsistent. But maybe I just suck at it. Maybe I just suck fucking dick and balls at it. I don't know. I don't think so. I beat the game, so I don't know how much I could suck at it. But I think the combat is still pretty weak. You know, not as good as it was in like other Zelda games. Oh, whatever. I think now my opinion has changed. Like, I used to think it was terrible. I just think it's okay on the weaker side. But I don't think combat makes or breaks. I think there's the enemies that you can fight now are cool. So I think like as far as fighting enemies goes, like that gives us some major good points. Because last time in the game, I was just getting sick and tired of fighting the same shit over and over again. You know, you would just have to go and fucking fight a blight or go to the final boss if you want to fight something other than a fucking bokoblin, hinox, or a moblin. Oh yeah, endless alphos and keeses. Oh, what the fuck ever. You know, like I can count on like one hand how many enemies there were. And like oh they got different colors on them. No, but they did upgrade a lot of selection, like the variety for enemies in this game is vastly upgraded. I welcome that. I welcome that a lot. Like they did that in Pro Jedi. Like I guess maybe that would have been a pretty big critique I had in the last game. Is like, you know, just not really much of a variety to the Empire. There's a lot of Ganon's forces out there, and they're mean. They are mean as shit. I like that this game was pretty fucking hard. They are mean as shit. You got to be on your toes at all fucking times, right? Man, I gotta say, fusing weapons was super duper cool. I think that was awesome. Building the game around it is cool. You know, the whole breaking weapons thing, you know, think what you want about it. I think it's dumb. Some people think it's good. I see why they did it. I don't care for why they did it. But, you know, if they it stays on during sex, right? You know, the breaking of weapons. They were adamant about that. Even when you fuse weapons, like you can't really trick the game to be like, oh, but I just broke the fused material. My weapon still stands. I shall want it. Like, no, you can't really do that, unfortunately. I guess that's about where I stand on most things. Now, I want to talk about the ending, right? I think the ending was super fucking cool. Now, the reason I think it was super fucking cool, like especially like now, a little bit of context. I did lose my shit. I was pretty fucking upset with this part. Like I said, I found Ganondorf on accident. Like I was going through the gauntlet of enemies and all the friends appeared, and my stupid ass did not understand. Oh shit, this is where Ganondorf is. I did not understand that part whatsoever. I just thought that I was about to fight something else, or maybe I was gonna, you know, find something. But when I saw all the bosses that I killed from the temples reappear and rocks fall behind me, I was like, oh wait, no, I understand what's happening now. I get it. Yeah, not a big fan of that part. Because I had 4 hearts. You know, you can't heal because of gloom. Like, I had 4 hearts total after I got my ass kicked by a bunch of goons. And that was awful. You can't teleport. Like, once you get trapped in by the rubble, you can't teleport out. The only thing you could do is load your save. But at that point, I was just like, I felt like that was a little cheap. I was like, I'm not doing that. So I went and fought Ganon, or Ganondorf, sorry. There's no actual Ganon in this game. There's something else. Ganondorf. I went to go fight Ganondorf, and essentially was forced to try to no-hit him. And I was doing that for about 5 hours straight. And I mean, like, I was sweating. But by the time I was done, it was like 3 a.m. I was losing sleep. I was sporadic. I was angry. I was shaking. I was jittery as shit. And I just wasn't myself. I was like, I'm not about to get all pressed over this fucking boss. You know, I'm not about to do all that. So I turned the game off. I admit defeat, but just for that night. When I woke up, I reloaded the save. I was just like, I admit defeat. I reloaded my save. And I went to go cook some food, you know, so I can, you know, cure myself with some gloom. I went in better prepared with some anti-gloom stuff. And then I go back downstairs, you know, go through the gauntlet of enemies again. And then on my first attempt of Ganon, I beat him without getting hit. I beat him without getting hit. I was relieved, angered, a lot of different emotions at that point. and then he turns into the demon dragon. Now this is the part that I really liked, is because I think, now I'm not sure if they did this on purpose, but I think they took some inspiration from Shadow of the Colossus on this one, especially the Phalanx boss fight, which I appreciate wholeheartedly. Any reference to Shadow of the Colossus, I will appreciate, and it may not even be officially what this is a reference to, but when Link mounts the head of Demon Dragon, which is Ganondorf turned into a dragon, when he mounts the head of Demon Dragon, and it says to deliver like the final strike, it reminds me of when Wander plunges his sword into the skull of a Colossus to kill it, because that's where the last strike was, on the sacred, like the sacred tear stone on his head. Sacred tears, that's Elden Ring, Christ. On the secret stone on his head. When he plunges that sword, I thought, and I felt like that was so Shadow of the Colossus, which made me happy, because Shadow of the Colossus, the reason I did like that game as a kid is because it also took a little bit of inspiration from Zelda. So, for a brief moment, I was like, oh my god. Like, it all came full circle. I almost teared up for a minute because I felt like they both just like paid respect to each other in just the most beautiful way, acknowledging each other. Like, Shadow of the Colossus paid respect to Zelda, Zelda just paid it back. Like, after all these years, paid it back. I thought that was beautiful. But I ain't no fucking bitch, so I don't cry during a fucking video game. So I was just like, I was just very appreciative. That's where the high kicked in. I was like, oh my fuck. One of the best endings to a Zelda game ever. Real shit. I can't believe Princess Zelda turned into a fucking dragon, dude. Anyways, yeah, this video was pretty horribly organized. I didn't really know what the fuck. Like I just said, I usually just turn on the camera and just start talking. I think I pretty much talked about everything. Anyways, nah, okay, I gotta give it a number. Okay, I gave Batwa a fair, like, 8 out of 10. I thought it was okay. This one is definitely, like, a very good 9.8. Definitely a very good 9.8, or 9.9, I don't know. The ending was a big 10 out of 10. You know, there's 10 out of 10's elements in the game that I really do like. I don't know if the whole thing is a 10 out of 10, maybe for personal enjoyment, like it was for Pro Jedi. Sorry, my microphone's probably acting up. Like it was for Pro Jedi. That was a 10 out of 10 for personal enjoyment all around. So it might also be the same thing with Tatka. You know, minus the Minoru part, but you know what? It's not like that was bad. It's just I didn't like it. But, so I don't know if I can give that, like, a whole 10 out of 10. Like, I don't think there was a moment in Pro Jedi that I wasn't really enjoying. I think, yeah, Tatka's probably gonna win Game of the Year, probably. I don't really care about that, though. I was pretty much banking on it. Do I agree with that? I don't know. I don't know if I like it more than Pro Jedi. I think both games are extremely well done. Pro Jedi still has room to grow, though. Like, Tatka is probably about as far as Batwa's story is gonna go. Like with this Link, I think this is about as far as it goes. I don't know where they're gonna take the franchise from here, because like this is it. Like this was like the new Wind Waker for me for a moment. I don't know. I might not think that in a month from now, but maybe I will in like 20 years. I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's what I think. I didn't think I was gonna make this video, like I said, but no, I was talking about it for 33 minutes now. I'm gonna cut the video here. Yeah, definitely love the game. So I don't know what I'm gonna be reviewing. Theory video on Evis. Now that one, I feel like I'm probably gonna do professionally instead of like what I do here. I think I'm gonna do like a professional style video where I actually edit it, you know, use my Final Cut Pro and all that shit. I appreciate Shadow of the Colossus a lot more than Tatka. Yeah, I still do. Like, Tatka's really great and all that, but it'll never do what Shadow of the Colossus did for me all the way back in the day. Later. Alright, that'll do it. Adios.